Team's top home run hitter and run producer with an RBI opportunity here right away in the top of the first. First pitch misses to Kyle West, a transfer from Division II, University of Charleston. Drove in over 100 runs over the last 2 seasons in Division II. He's from Hedgesville, West Virginia, hitting over 300. And pitches outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
One thing to watch for with West Virginia's offense is they have a nice blend of left-handed and right-handed hitters. It's very difficult, especially on a right-handed pitcher, facing that blend and a lot of left-handed hitters in the lineup.
Popped up left side. This could be a gift for Pitt, but it gets out of play. Ryan Zuckerman, the third baseman, gave it a look. Randy Mazey, last year's Big 12 Coach of the Year. In his 12th and final season at West Virginia, announced his retirement last summer. Steve Sabins, who's in the third base coach's box, is going to take over in 2025. Randy is going to stay on in an advisory role, but has decided to hang it up. He's going to turn 58 next month.
He's a legend.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a legend. He's one of the best. He's one of the best minds, I would say, ever in the college game. Think about the programs that he's been at: Clemson, TCU, East Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia, and they've done well at every stop along the way.
Great family man. His wife Amanda, kids Sierra and Watson. Wants to spend more time with the folks. Can understand that. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Aiden Coleman, after giving up the leadoff double to Sauve, now just 1 out away from getting out of this unscathed as he strikes out West.
Watch this ride fastball up in the zone and just explodes. Those four-seam fastballs that carry and ride like that, that's kind of in the modern game right now. And lefties will have a hard time with that pitch especially. They like the ball down.
So now Coleman will deal to Reed Chumley, and he starts him with a strike. Chumley, another transfer for West Virginia. He's playing third base tonight. Comes from Houston Christian. Led the Southland Conference with a .392 average last year, hitting .318 for the Mountaineers. Back up the middle. That's a base hit. And West Virginia is going to break out in front. Chumley with his 32nd run batted in as Sauve comes home to make it 1-0 West Virginia.
That's a great approach right there. We call that TTM, through the middle. That's where the stakes live, the RBIs. Right through the middle of the field. Just a beautiful swing inside the baseball on a slider. He tries to pull that. It's a ground ball pull job to the third baseman, but instead he stays through the middle, and that's an RBI.
Two hits in the inning, 1 run already in for the Mountaineers against Aiden Coleman, who's been a regular midweek starter. This is inside here to Sam White, the left fielder.
Look at the mix so far, Clay. Right, left, right, left. I mean, it's a well-designed offense.
And Steve Sabins, head coach in waiting, deserves quite a bit of credit for that. Deals a lot with the offense. Sam White was 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the first meeting with Pitt. Now West Virginia won 6-3 a couple of weeks ago. Another solid single back up the middle. Third hit of the inning. Back-to-back hits for Chumley and White. And Grant Hussey will come to the plate with 2 outs.
You see teams with this kind of approach through the middle of the field, gap to gap, and everything they've hit hard has been through the middle today. It's a well-coached offense. You see their chest on the plate. It allows them to stay through the middle of the field. And all the balls that have been hit so far in this game have been through the middle or gapped. That's just great hitting.
And now Grant Hussey comes up. Big left-handed power bat, looking to make some history tonight. He's sitting on 9 home runs on the season, 34 for his career. His next home run will tie Jed Jerko and Tim McCabe for the most in program history.
Jed Jerko, what a great player he was in college and in the big leagues.
And he's a Morgantown native. McCabe from right here in Pittsburgh. Swung out and missed. So he's behind in the count, 0-2 to Aiden Coleman, who's trying to give Pitt a couple of innings. I think we're going to see a lot of bullpen activity tonight for both teams. One and two the count. Coleman, his last start, one of the best of his season. Went 4 shutout innings in a win against St. Bonaventure. One-two pitch. It's peeled off, foul.
A lot different sequencing right there. They've hit some balls hard on breaking balls and fastballs. There's 3 off-speed pitches and then a fastball. So you slow them down and speed them up. Much better sequencing right there. Coach Bell making an adjustment.
And now look out in the Pitt dugout. It's interesting to note that Pitt is in the first base dugout. They're the home team. And you would think, because this is the Pirates' home ballpark, that they would pick the third base dugout. But that's actually where West Virginia is tonight. There's Mike Bell in the foreground. Another one pulled foul over the top of the Panthers.
Look out.
Mercy.
Man, that came in there hot.
Free haircuts over there.
Pay attention.
Grant Hussey, one of 4 West Virginia natives on this Mountaineers roster. This is going to go to left and deep. Backing off is Justin Fogel to the corner, and he watches it go. Goodbye home run. A 3-run shot. And the Mountaineers with a big right-hand hook here in the first inning of the backyard brawl. And that one makes history.
Wow. This ball's driven to the backside with 2 strikes. Fouled off a couple pitches. Got what he wanted up in the strike zone. And he knows what to do with it right there. Pow! Flat swing to the backside. Watch how it's above his waist right there. He stays inside this baseball, and it went a long way. It cleared easy.
35th career home run for Hussey. He is now tied for the most in Mountaineers history with McCabe and Jerko. That's his 10th of the season. So Coleman will try to regroup now with the bases empty. Brody Kresser at the plate. Native of Jessup, Iowa. JUCO transfer from Des Moines Area Community College. He was brought in to shore up second base defensively, and he's certainly done that, Coach. But I think he's a better hitter than maybe they expected. Getting close to 300.
He's done a nice job. He gives some length to their lineup, especially where he's hitting in the order. Defensive specialist, a little more offense down there. It's really a boost to your offense.
Already some activity in the Pitt bullpen. Rubio Candelario, a right-hander, is starting to loosen up. 3 balls and a strike to Kresser out of the 7-hole. We talked about West Virginia, Coach, being in the hosting conversation as you look at Candelario. Coming into the day, the West Virginia RPI is 34. Certainly, that wouldn't be great on Memorial Day, Selection Monday. But it's close enough with what is left on the schedule where they could make a push as Kresser keeps this 2-out inning going with a free pass, and that'll bring up Lumsden.
They have an opportunity for their RPI to really move up. Just think about it. You get the Big 12 tournament coming up, great opponents in that league. You never know at the end of that where they'll be.
27 pitch first inning here so far for the freshman Aiden Coleman. And now Lumsden takes inside. Lumsden in right field again tonight. Another transfer for Randy Mazey. Comes from UT Arlington. Did not play against Pitt when these two met in Morgantown on April 16th, but he's in the lineup tonight. There's a strike, 1-1. West Virginia has sent 8 to the plate here in the first. 4 runs in. Rand Hussey with a historic 3-run home run for this West Virginia program.
Impressive 2-strike Oppo Taco. I mean, just smoked it to the backside. And Coleman, we talked about it. This is a big test for him mentally.
Yeah.
This environment, big league stadium, rivalry game. I mean, it's so far.
That's been tough, no doubt. He's one of the 11 freshmen that Mike Bell brought in for 2024. You can tell that at times he's dealing with some growing pains. Coleman, even though his numbers overall have been pretty good, I mean, this is a growing moment here.
Stuff's there. I mean, you're talking about a quality arm right here. He's just made some pitches that have been middle and up. Just need better execution.
There's Hussey, who hit that ball to left field. Another throw over to first. Benjamin Lumsden at the plate. He has started the last several games in the outfield. He's on a 4-game hitting streak. Went 2 for 4 on Sunday with a couple of runs batted in as they kept Baylor from winning a game in that series. You look at West Virginia now, Coach. They've swept 3 of their last 4 Big 12 opponents. And they're second in the league, tied with Oklahoma State behind Oklahoma with 3 weekends left. So, I mean, right where they want to be.
You want to be playing your best ball late.
Runner goes, hit on the ground right at the first baseman Cantwell. He's got it to get Pitt off.
Ball up in the strike zone, 91 to 95. There's a little cutter slider. He has electric stuff when he's in the zone.
This is his first start since April the 10th. Took a no decision at Marshall. He didn't give up any runs in 3 2/3. Fly ball here off the bat of Cantwell. London is out there and he's got it for the first down. So quick work for Van Kempen. 1 up, 1 down as he's got a nice 4-run lead to work with here to start. Last year as a freshman, he made 12 appearances with 4 starts, went 3-0 with a save. I mean, he's got a 9-1 career record with a save and an ERA just a touch above 4. So he's been given really good work the last couple of years on the mound for West Virginia.
And talking to Mays earlier, Coach Mazy, this is one of their dudes. I mean, he threw 2 innings this weekend, and now they're popping him back on the mound. He's probably going to throw about 3, maybe 4, depending upon pitch count. But that's a real arm right there. 92-mile-an-hour fastball painted away.
Ball and a strike to Jaden Melendez. Was a team-high 13 home runs. It is 11th home run of the year in Morgantown. 2-run shot in that game a couple of weeks ago as he fouls that one off. Sunday hit a 3-run homer in the series clinching win over Bryant. That was the first series win for Pitt since February. So they feel like they're coming into this game with a little bit of momentum. One out, the 1-2 pitch. Right into the shift. Kresser, the second baseman, playing behind the bag. And they're 2 down.
Perfectly placed into the shift. In college baseball, you can still shift. Not in the big leagues, but in college you can. He's just sitting right there. Line drive, 1 hopper, easy play for the Mountaineers.
We talked about Mike Bell, Coach, already. Mike in his 6th season now. Pitt has been to 3 straight ACC tournaments. Before Bell came to town, Pitt had been to 1 ACC tournament. So he has done some really good things in a short amount of time.
He has great lineage. I mean, we talked about it early. He played for the legendary Mike Martin at Florida State and was a fantastic, outstanding weekend starter for them in the mid-90s. I mean, that staff was loaded that he was on. Paul Wilson, who went 1-1 to the Mets. Yeah. Was on that staff. Jonathan Johnson, who had probably the best breaking ball I've ever seen from a right-handed pitcher in college baseball. Played for the Rangers. And Mike was on that staff.
2-0 pitch to Fogel, who's the starting left fielder for Mike Bell tonight.
And then he went on to coach at Florida State. Was a great pitching coach there, and then got his opportunity to be a head coach in the ACC.
Very humble man. You can say the same thing about Randy Mazy.
No doubt.
2-1 fouled off. So now 2-2 to Justin Fogel. who was 2 for 5 in the game against West Virginia in Morgantown. He's a Division III transfer from Penn State Abington. Led all of Division III last year with an average close to 500. Hit .497 last year.
The transfer portal is amazing. It just amazes me. These D2, D3 players are going to the ACC, SEC, and excelling. It's plug and play. It's pretty awesome.
You're thinking that, okay, the adjustment from D3 to this level, there's going to be a drop off. There really has. I mean, he's hitting close to 300 here.
Yeah.
Certainly acceptable.
Obviously missed out of high school. You know, those guys are overlooked. They put up numbers. Now they have an opportunity to go prove it at a high level.
Van Kempen with 2 down has a 3-2 count, and his pitch swung on, hit to center. King backing off, has it measured, and he'll make the catch on this beautiful night. Skylar King coming off a solid series against Baylor, started all 3 games in the outfield. Out of Columbia, South Carolina. You see the shift is on this Pitt defense. They had 2 costly errors the last time these 2 teams met. They're hoping to play a tighter brand of baseball defensively here tonight against their big rivals. This is going to get out of play foul.
It's a real fastball right there. 93-94 on those first 2 pitches. Jumping out of his hand.
There you see the numbers for King, who's been platooning in the outfield with Aaron Jamison. You know, and both of these coaches, these head coaches, Mike Bell for Pitt, Randy Mazey for West Virginia, they serve as their own pitching coach.
Very unique. Very unique. And they call the pitches. And they're obviously doing a lot of other things. So it's multitasking.
1-2, line drive to center and carrying. Popa is going to see it carry him off the wall in center. Stand up double. Leading off the second for the number 9 hitter, Skylar King.
That ball looked like it was shot out of a cannon. Maybe a 2-iron at Augusta right there. Absolutely hammered and short hopped the 399 sign right, I mean, right next to it. Boy, smoked.
Tell you what, this West Virginia Mountaineers defense really looks dialed in right now. 5 batters with base hits, first time through. And now back to the top of the order, Logan Save, who had a double in his own right back in the first inning.
And here's the impressive thing so far. All these hits are through the middle of the field to the backside. All the balls that have been struck well have been the middle of the field to the backside. That's great hitting. That's great offense.
It's inside to Save, whose average is now up over 300.
Mike Bell seeing the same thing in the dugout. You saw the pitch right there. That's a fastball in. That's probably your best way to defend that, along with a changeup. Want to slow them down and speed them up in so they can't stay inside the ball out over the plate.
2 balls and no strikes. Candelario hits the outside corner to Save, who was honorable mention all Big 12 last year as a freshman. We talked about that kneecap injury that happened back in March. Still got a protective guard that he wears under those pants on that knee. Imagine cracking your kneecap. The amount of pain that would endure.
Ouch. Another fastball in right there. Do you see that? 91 boring in.
Two pitch. Line drive. That's another base hit for West Virginia. We'll see what they do with King. Sabins is going to hold him up. So runners at the corners, nobody out, as the pitching staff so far with Coleman and Candelario now, they haven't missed many bats.
Another great approach. Up in the strike zone, off speed pitch. After some fastballs in, just hung it on the inner half. It's good hitting right there. With nobody out, nice decision. Got plenty of good hitters coming up behind.
This might be one of the best ones in the entire country. J.J. Weatherholt.
No doubt.
And swings at the first pitch, and he's going to run the gap all the way to the wall in the corner. That's going to score 2. Weatherholt stands at second. 2-run double. 3 straight hits in the inning. And it's now 6-0 West Virginia.
Wow, he is impressive. That is a big league approach to the backside. Staying inside, smoking this ball into the oppo gap. We talked about his advanced professional approach. You just saw it right there. He finds barrels at the highest level, and it is impressive, partner.
8 hits now for West Virginia, and here comes Mike Bell to the mound again.
And you can see why scouting directors and scouts all over the country are salivating to get a chance to draft that young man. That's the real deal right there. What a beautiful stroke.
Last year he was the everyday second baseman, playing shortstop this year. How is that going to help his draft stock?
Well, shortstop is really going to help it. If he can prove that he can play shortstop, if he gets enough reps the rest of the season with this hamstring, it makes him a much more desirable draft other than just playing second and hitting. Shortstop with that kind of offensive ability, whew, he could go 1-1 like everyone was talking about. But look at this last year. 449, I'm going to remind you again, 449, 16 bombs, 60 ribbies, 1.299 OPS. That's unbelievable. And 37 walk to strikeout. 37 to 22, combining walks, hit batters to strikeouts. 37 to 22. That's like Mike Trout.
Kyle West struck out against Aiden Coleman in the first inning. He's up there now as West Virginia is 4 for 6 with 6 runs batted in with runners in scoring position.
And I just can't get over his approach, JJ. Weatherholt, that is unreal.
And you know the stolen base numbers are going to come back too as he continues, you know, to get back to himself.
Well, a hamstring, I had one of those in college, I know. The only way to get over a hamstring, in my opinion, is a winter and taking some time off. Playing through a hamstring is going to be nagging you for a while.
Ball and a strike to Kyle West. Got a piece of it, 1-2. Action in the Pitt bullpen now. Matt Porter, a junior left-hander, loosening up. They were hoping to get 2 innings at least out of Coleman. That didn't happen. He had 1. And now Candelario is trying to get out of the second.
West Virginia already has 4 extra base hits. And they're 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position and 6 RBIs. That's an efficient offense.
It's a team that is really, really dialed in right now.
Absolutely.
1-2 pitch again, fouled back. They got as high as number 22 in the national rankings a couple of weeks ago before getting swept at Texas Tech. You know, you talk to Randy Mazin, he'll tell you we were absolutely awful in Lubbock for that 3-game series, but he's trying to find a silver lining in it. He thinks sometimes teams need a wake up at the right time, and it wasn't too late in the year where it could hurt them RPI wise. He thinks it woke them up, and now they're dialed back in.
If you have great leadership at the top, sometimes those sweeps are the best thing that can happen to you. Look at Elliott Avent at NC State. They got swept at Georgia Tech.
Yep.
And since then, they've been on fire, beating Clemson at Clemson, beating North Carolina. I mean, these guys are real now. They're a top team in the country after being swept by Georgia Tech.
Yeah, one of the 7 ranked teams from the ACC this week. 1-2 pitch hit on the ground. It'll be skipped into the glove of Cantwell. He'll run to the bag. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful setting. I know this is your first time here. as it is mine, and we are very, very impressed.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here with you, seeing these two great coaches and programs go head to head in this beautiful stadium. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous.
Pitt plays 1, sometimes 2 games a year here, and you can see why if they get the opportunity, they put it on the schedule. You know, it's great for the players too.
Yeah, I mean, you'll remember this for the rest of your life.
J.J. Weatherholt over at third. West Virginia leading 6-0. 4 in the first 2 here so far in the second. It's way outside for Candelaria. So now a 3-0 count to the cleanup hitter Reed Chumbley. Chumbley had an RBI single in the first inning. Got out to a slow start this season. Was hitting .200 after the first week of March, but his average has climbed up well over .300. Down the line, and they've got the runner hung up. Nice play by Zuckerman. They've got Weatherholt tagged out, and now they've got the backside runner. Nice defensive play by Pitt.
Immediately knowing that Weatherholt's going to get in a rundown, and you'll get there easy. Stopping at first base, kind of hanging out for a while, that's what cost him.
Yeah, you don't want him stopping and starting too suddenly, as he's just recently back from that hamstring, which kept him out for a month and a half. Josh Spiegel, Dom Popa, Tyler Bischke here for Pitt in the second inning, needing to climb out of a 6-run hole. Pitt has lost 6 in a row to West Virginia, lost in Morgantown 6-3 a couple of weeks ago. Despite out hitting West Virginia 13-7 that night, but again, it was the errors in the field. So Mike Bell happy to see some good defensive play. Josh Spiegel, the Pittsburgh native, finds right field for the first hit of the night for the Panthers.
They're playing, the alignment was up the middle, so that ball was almost a routine ball to second base, where a second base would normally play, but West Virginia's second baseman is playing up the middle, and ball's hit pretty hard. Good hitting right there, staying inside the baseball. You watch tonight. Most of the best hits and all the majority of the hits will be to the backside and the middle when they're doing it right. Okay, if it's a breaking ball hanging and they keep it in the air, they'll drive it. But when you pull balls on the ground, a lot of times they're outs. You hit balls through the middle to the backside. Those are where the hits are, and those are where the RBIs live.
We saw Grant Hussey go to the backside, didn't we?
Yeah.
A 3-run homer. Here's Dom Popa now, another Pittsburgh kid. Not really a kid. He's a senior in his 4th year. Probably the best season of his career, too, for the Panthers. Hitting .329. 16 runs batted in, has scored 35 runs, and now Logan Save calls timeout. Makes a little adjustment with his gear. As Gavin Van Kempen, the sophomore starter, has been gifted a nice 6-run lead.
Long way to go. There's only one clock in baseball, and that's a pitch clock. Other than that, you can play all night. Long way to go.
Junior left-hander Tyler Switolski was the starter against Pitt a couple of weeks ago. Pitched well. Hayden Cooper got the win, though, with 4 solid innings of relief, as that one is swung on through to even up the count at 2-2. Switolski has since been moved to the weekends for West Virginia. Derek Clark and Aiden Major, they've been the constant on the weekend. The number 3 starter, a bit of a moving target, and got him. Swung on and missed, struck him out. So Popa goes down, and that is strikeout number 1 tonight for Van Kempen.
Ball's out, chased, up in the strike zone, and off the plate.
One out, man on for Tyler Bischke. New Orleans transfer. Transferred back to his hometown. He has been the everyday second baseman for the Panthers. Grew up here in the Steel City. Product of Hampton High School. We talked to Mike Bell this week. Said this guy right here, he's a throwback. Old school player.
Rocky Balboa. That's what he said. Little Rocky action out there.
Line drive, soft. Down the line and just foul. Bishke went 0 for 4 at West Virginia the last time they met a couple of weeks ago. He's had some big moments at times this year. Hit a 3-run homer in the 7th. And had the game-winning RBI in the 8th in that comeback win over number 7 Duke a couple of weeks ago. I mean, you look at the resume for this team, and even though they haven't won an ACC series this season, they've got some nice wins on their resume. Virginia Tech, they've beaten Duke, win over Clemson. They beat Oklahoma early in the year in a non-conference matchup. I mean, they can bite you. Back up the middle, base hit. 2 on, 1 out. Here comes Pittsburgh.
The theme of TTM through the middle of the field. All the hits today. Backside through the middle is where the hits are living here at PNC Park so far in this game.
Again, Van Kempen threw a couple of innings on Sunday. We don't expect him to go much beyond this inning, if at all, anyway. This one hit down the line and foul. C.J. Funk, the right fielder for Pitt. 4th-year senior. Numbers are down a tick after a career year last season. Had 13 homers and 43 runs batted in last year.
That's a real fastball. 93 miles per hour. Up. Touching 94.
Pitt trying to make some noise here in the 2nd. Foul back. 1-2 at 94 miles an hour there, too.
It's a quick arm, too. He's got that short arm circle. Kind of brings it up to his ear and just catapults it to the strike zone. You see that a lot nowadays, that modern short arm action. It's like the catcher in the old days, that catcher or infield arm action, and boom.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. John Mang, the home plate umpire, punches out C.J. Funk. Back to second strikeout, I should say, for Van Kempen here in the inning.
Well located. Little cut slider right there. Outstanding pitch.
He starts Ryan Zuckerman downstairs. Zuckerman starting third baseman as a true freshman. It's hard to win the job as a rookie in the ACC or the Big 12 for that matter, anywhere in the Power 5, and Ryan Zuckerman has done that.
You're really lucky at the Power 5 level to have maybe one position player and one pitcher that are freshmen that make an impact on your program. One on each side of the ball. If you have two, whew, amazing. And there's some great freshmen in the country this year, especially in the ACC. I mean, you're talking about Henry Ford, Drew Burris, Daniel Cuvée, Renfro, Friday night guy for Virginia Tech, is going to be a big leaguer for a long time.
2-1 pitch, left side. Chumley has it, throws across the diamond. And Randy Mazey down on the field before the game, though, Coach Mo. And he said, you know, we just don't like playing there that much, apparently. They've never won a game in that tournament.
Could not believe that. Could not believe that. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, they've struggled there.
Beautiful venue, though, huh?
Oh, well, I'll say this. Weather is not going to affect it. And that's kind of nice that time of year when you're trying to play that many games in that few number of days.
Right, and it gets warm in Texas.
Sure does.
Late May.
Sure does. So here's Sam White leading it off against Rubio Candelario, who got through the 2nd inning relatively in decent fashion given how it started, as he got help from that 5-2 3-4 double play to end the inning.
Just like he drew it up.
Aiden Coleman started the game, went 1 inning. And now Candelario trying to get through his 2nd inning of work. 5, 6, and 7 here for West Virginia. 6 runs on 6 hits so far. The big blow, a 3-run homer by Hussey.
3-run 2-strike homer to the backside. I mean, that was an impressive swing. These hitters know what they're doing here at West Virginia. They really stay on the baseball.
Two to White. Little comebacker. Candelario's got it. And Sam White, the sophomore from Ontario, his 10th home run of the year. Hit his 9th on Sunday against Baylor. So back-to-back days with a home run. At least back-to-back games, I should say. He's from Washington, West Virginia. Tell you, there are some rabid West Virginia fans here in attendance, and they showed up to the ballpark early today. They were out on the sidewalk before the game, milling around, throwing some comments at the Pitt fans. It's terrific.
If you look behind the dugouts, it's all West Virginia on one side and all Pitt on the other. You can see the color.
There's the Mountaineer. Let's get ready. Trying to butt his way on his Hussey. Who saw that coming? No chance for Zuckerman, who was shifted into the 6 hole. And Hussey, who hits a 3-run bomb 1 inning, bunts his way on next time up.
He can do it all. Power, and then he goes small ball against the shift. Wow.
You can't
love
do
that.
it any better.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Why not? If it's there, take it.
6'3", 225 pounds, and he's very comfortable doing that. Fly ball to center. Popa will have it for the 2nd out. Now the Stanley Epic here in Pittsburgh tonight. Top of the 3rd inning. And it's been all West Virginia so far. This is Benjamin Lumsden. Right fielder 0 for 1. The ground out to first. West Virginia want to share the Big 12 regular season last year with Texas and Oklahoma State. 15 conference wins is what they got to last year, the most since joining the Big 12 in 2013. They're sitting on 14 right now with 3 weekends left. So this is an historic year, and it's also going to be Randy Mazey's last year. You know, there's one thing he hasn't really accomplished in his time in Morgantown, and that's get the program to Omaha. That's the goal now for sure.
No doubt. He's been to Omaha and he wants to get back there. He's done such a great job with this program. You know, we were talking earlier, let's just be honest. West Virginia's a baseball program. Before he got there was more of an afterthought, right? Now they're a top 25 program. They've been ranked in the top 25 9 straight years.
Yeah. And that wasn't happening before he got to town. He really is confident, though, that he's turning it over to the right man. Steve Sabins, head coach in waiting. He's in the 3rd base coach's box. And, you know, Randy told us he thinks it's going to be a seamless transition to Steve.
Oh, yeah.
This one hit well to center. Tattooed. Popa on his horse. Looking up, and it's gone. Goodbye. Home run. Benjamin Lumsden. His 5th home run of the year.
Oh, my. This ball was absolutely hammered. In a big league stadium, going line drive to center field into the bushes. That's impressive. Watch this ball. It's up in the strike zone, just below the belt. And he just stays through it. Flat swing. Line drive out of here into the Pirates' bushes.
Perfectly manicured.
Right there.
By the way, I tell you, this offense, exceptional now. 8 runs on 9 hits. That is the second home run. And Pittsburgh is going to make a pitching change. That's it for Candelario. And
Situation against this high-powered West Virginia offense.
Base is empty. First man he's going to face is Skylar King, who doubled and scored a run his last time around in the second inning. West Virginia, they like playing here. I'll tell you, overall, the Mountaineers 5-0 at PNC Park. They beat Penn State back in 2017, again in 2018, and a walk-off win in the 10th inning that year. And they've beaten Pitt every time they've met here.
Need to teleport this yard down to Arlington, Texas in a few weeks.
Randy Mazie wouldn't mind that, would he? Again, the shift is on. Zuckerman covering a lot of ground over there on the left side of the infield. There was rain in the forecast, but it has turned out to be a lovely evening. We got Jake Kendrow leading it off here for Pitt as they try to climb back into this ball game. They're down 8-0. Kendrow, a Tennessee transfer out of the SEC. Played in 24 games last year for the Vols as a freshman, including 7 starts. Now he's back home. He's a Pittsburgh native. Tennessee is playing well. Texas A&M, though, the #1 team in the country for the 3rd straight week. Took 2 out of 3 from Charlie Condon and Georgia over the weekend. You were talking about Condon earlier when you mentioned Weatherholt and his time with Team USA. But Condon broke Georgia's single season and all-time home run records over the weekend. And we have seen Grant Hussey tie a program record for West Virginia with his 54th home run.
Balls flying out of the parks in college baseball across the country. Better bats, maybe the balls are wound tighter, some of the coaches are saying. But there's been a lot of home runs this spring, and some records are being set. Christian Moore and Burke at Tennessee are fighting for the home run all-time record for the Vols.
Moore has eked out ahead on that one by a few. Out to center. And on the warning track. Catch is made by 1 out. Here's Cantwell, the leadoff man. Flew out to right, his first and only time up.
That's a power slider right there on 0-0, 85 miles per hour. Just straight downhill.
And Cantwell behind in the count, 2 strikes. He has reached in 36 straight. This is a great leadoff man. Leads the ACC in on-base percentage. Also second in the ACC with 45 walks. Trying to keep that streak going tonight. The 0-2 pitch. It's up and away. Now he comes in from Fairleigh Dickinson. First team all NEC last year. And he has adapted well to the ACC so far.
45 walks to 27 strikeouts. Are you kidding me? Is that good? That's ridiculous. And then if you add his HBPs, 11. That's 56 to 27.
Veteran guy brings some leadership. Pitt desperately needed. Again, a lot of youngsters for Mike Bell's team. And right now, the goal for them is just to make that ACC tournament, keep that streak going. I mean, we're not going to win the ACC championship. That's pretty obvious. Swung on and missed. Got him. Van Kempen. He goes back-to-back strikeouts here to start the 3rd.
quality pitch right here. Inner half. Took a little off. Those are hard sometimes. You think fastball because it's on the inner half and it just doesn't get there.
So 2 outs for Melendez. I mean, this is exactly what Randy Mazey had in mind from his starter. You know, get 2 solid innings at least, and you know he's already looking at going through the 3rd. And if this keeps up, you bring him out for the 4th, right?
Depends upon his pitch count and what they decided on before the game, but yeah, I mean he's doing a great job. I bet you Randy's going to try to get some other guys in here and get some work midweek before their conference series this weekend, though.
That skipped in the dirt, blocked up by Save.
Melendez has some bloodlines.
Yeah, sure does. His brother MJ, of course, catcher for the Kansas City Royals, and his dad Merville was his head coach and really a great baseball man.
Been around a long time, well respected for sure.
Yeah, Merville was a head coach at Florida International for a while. Melendez was there before coming to Pitt. Swung on and missed. So now 2-2 the count.
When he gets that slider down in the strike zone, that is a quality pitch. 86 miles per hour. I mean, anytime you go over 80 miles per hour with that kind of depth, fantastic pitch. And then 95 on top of that. 86 slider down, 95 with ride up. That's a real arm right there for the Mountaineers.
He's been filling up the strike zone. Just missed off the plate there. So you look at this West Virginia team ERA, 5.12 coming in. 7th out of 13 teams in the Big 12. They lost one of their best bullpen arms in the really in the entire conference for the year. David Hageman, freshman All-American last year, suffered an arm injury a couple of weeks ago, and that's really affected Randy Mazey's staff.
Huge loss for West Virginia.
Good at bat here. Melendez battling.
You know, Mays is trying to replace him and find some guys that can step up, take over his role. That's what you'll need to win the Big 12 tournament, go into regionals. That depth of your pitching staff is so important.
Randy Mazey, very comfortable in his own skin. Again, retiring at the end of the 2024 season. 9th pitch of the at bat, and Van Kampen wins the battle, strikes out. Pitt lasted 1 inning. Rubio Candelario was relieved last inning. Matt Porter got the last out in the 3rd. Now he starts the 4th inning. Logan Save, J.J. Weatherholt, and Kyle West. 1, 2, and 3 for West Virginia. Looking to win number 27 on the year. Save, the #1 catcher in the state of Pennsylvania a couple of years ago. He's from Boiling Springs near Harrisburg, central part of the state. So thinking about Gavin Van Kampen, who has given West Virginia an absolutely brilliant 3 innings on the mound, what does Randy Mazey do for the 4th?
Depends if he wants to use him this weekend. He might take him out of this game, get some other guys in there and get some work.
Especially with the lead the way it is. Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge weekend for them. They're still moving up in those standings, and the RPIs. I mean, it means a lot. And if you're up 8 right here, if I'm him, I'm probably putting somebody else in and getting some other guys some work that you need to develop to win that Big 12 tournament, possibly a regional.
That's called strike 3. Save goes down. A couple of hits so far tonight. 2 runs scored, but he'll strike out here. 1 out in the 4th for Weatherholt.
Save really did not like that pitch right there. Inner half, off speed. Perfectly located and just froze him.
West Virginia's at Cincinnati this weekend. They still have a series at home against K-State. And they'll finish the Big 12 regular season at TCU before conference tournament starts in Arlington. My guess is they will stay in Texas and not come home to Morgantown after the weekend.
I would imagine so. They're out of school, so you're not going to miss any class.
Weatherholt, an RBI double his last time up. The reigning Big 12 Player of the Year.
Great looking player. Beautiful approach at the plate. Elite level of barrel contact.
Left on left here. It's way outside. So you know it was really killing him too, because he's such a competitor. To be sitting out that long, 24 games, missed the entire back half of February, all of March. And it's amazing that the team did as well as they did without him.
No doubt.
This one is hit on the screws. Despite the shift, screams into right field for a base knock with one out. What a prospect.
Weatherholt shows you how you can go backside with power, and then here's a hanging breaking ball. It's up in the strike zone, inner half. Watch it right here. And he pulls it to the backside, or to the pull side in the air like you're supposed to. Keep that ball off the ground when you pull it. Smoked right through the shift.
Tyler Bischke, I mean, thought he had that played perfectly. Still couldn't get to it.
When you see a hitter drive balls backside on fastballs and then pull off speed pitches that are up in the air for line drives, you know he's locked in.
Man on, one out for Kyle West. 0 for 2 out of the DH spot.
What I mean by that, Clay, is some guys will cheat to fastballs and you'll get away with that for an at bat or two or even a game or two. But when your approach is through the middle of the field, then you can cover a lot of different speeds, a lot of different shapes of pitches. And that's what the elite ones do. Stay through the middle of the field.
Ground ball. And a flip to second for one. They will not get two. Weatherholt, again, you know, I still don't think he's running 100% yet.
No.
You know, he would have probably been in a stolen base situation there, you know, before the injury. But now it's just a different situation.
When he had 36 stolen bases last year,
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably off and running within the first two pitches. When you steal 36. Now, even Randy said before the game he did not give him the green light yet this year because of the hamstring.
Yep.
Because usually those A runners like that, we call those A+ runners, they're on their own. You know, they decide when they want to run. They feel it, they go. And you give them that freedom.
Reed Chumley at the plate. Hit into that weird 5-2-3-4 double play. Didn't really hit into it. He kind of ran into it. 128 stolen bases for West Virginia last year. That was 11th best in the nation. That's 74 this year. Again, they missed JJ for a month and a half. So those numbers are going to be down this season.
Interesting to see what West Virginia does the rest of the season as JJ gets more and more healthy. Wow, look out.
Runner goes here, swung on, and that's going to twist on a play. And a race for that foul ball.
And you'll see West Virginia, they like to run. 74 stolen bases, 92 attempts.
Who's going to get it? Oh, that guy got it.
Oh.
Yeah. He'll remember that.
Let's go.
He beat about 15 other kids to get that ball. That was highly competitive.
That's going right on top of the dresser. Look at it maybe sleep with it tonight.
He might. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chumley, who drove in 5 runs on Friday against Baylor. They swept the Bears. Tell you what, fans are really excited in Morgantown about this team again. They had 11,000 in attendance for that 3-game series. That's a program record for a 3-game series. And when Pitt came to Kendrick Family Ballpark back on the 16th of April for that single game, they had 4,614 fans. That was a single game record at West Virginia. Now, of course, it's Pitt, so that's going to have a lot of excitement. But, I mean, look at this past weekend. When Baylor comes in, they have that kind of attendance. People think that this team could be special.
And you'll see that across the country. Attendance is up. I mean, a lot of people going to see college baseball.
Caught the inside corner, strike 3. Couple of chance again shutting down West Virginia the last 4 outs. And what have you noticed from him?
Yeah, you know, he's come on for us here lately in the bullpen, and really just mixing the off speed, you know, keeping them off balance. They're a very good fastball hitting team when you miss location or you get predictable counts. And you know, he's got a tough angle from the left side. He's got some good stuff.
Mike, what's the plan moving forward in this game? I mean, obviously you're not where you want to be as far as the script.
Yep.
What's the plan? What are you talking to your team about right now?
You try to chip away, just put together quality at bats. You know, kind of let the game come back to us, see if we can chip back into this thing. We'll end up using a lot of guys on the mound as well. Not to say you're looking already to Notre Dame in this weekend and you're ditching a game, but you're trying to just build within the game and provide some opportunities for some guys. But these quality at bats against their arms, and see if we can get back in it. They got a tough lefty coming in to face us right now.
Mike, this is a fun environment.
It's the best. It's the best ballpark in the country. If you've never had the opportunity to come watch a game, we're so thankful for what the Pirates allow us to do here. They're first-class organization, but this scenery, this ballpark, our fans, their fans, this is what college baseball rivals are all about, but our guys get to be big leaguers for a day.
Yeah, this is amazing. So beautiful. The sun was going down with the buildings in the back. I just breathless.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for all you guys do.
Mike
Appreciate
Bell,
it.
6th-year head coach at Pitt. And he was alluding to Notre Dame. They've got to go to Notre Dame this coming weekend. And Notre Dame is a team also needing to get wins to make sure they qualify for the ACC tournament. The bottom 2 teams in the league will not make the field. And, you know, so Pitt right now, they're kind of on the outside looking in. Notre Dame's in jeopardy. So that's a huge series coming up this weekend.
Yeah, ginormous. Ginormous. Got to get in the tournament to have a shot, right? Have a shot at NCAA play, postseason. And that's what the Pitt Panthers are trying to do this weekend for sure, and the next 2 after that.
New pitcher for West Virginia. This is Tyler Switolski, 13th appearance. And Van Kempen was brilliant. The right-hander, those 3 quality innings. Gave up just 2 hits, struck out 4. And now Switolski, the left-hander. But how about Van Kempen? What impressed you the most, Coach Mo?
Fastball up, power slider down, location of both pitches, and then drops a little change piece, but a lot of cut down and then riding the fastball up, filling up the strike zone.
Vogel's going to roll this one into center field for a leadoff hit. So Switolski is going to have to pitch from the stretch right out of the gate.
Good swing through the middle of the field right there. Against a good arm. Switolski was in their weekend rotation. Now moved to the bullpen. 89 to 92, a touch of 94. This guy throws a curveball and a changeup as well. More of a 2-pitch guy, but a quality arm with a cross throw. Really kind of a weird angle on left-handed hitters. Impressive swing right there.
Josh Spiegel, a single his first time up. Another big guy for the Panthers. They seem to have a lot of them. 6'2", 234 pounds. He's got 5 homers in the last 8 games, 6 on the year. Began his career at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, this guy's been hot. Hitting 363.
Yep.
And hitting the ball out of the park lately. So he's trending in the right direction.
Spent the last 3 years at Penn State. Started 41 games last year for the Nittany Lions. Vogel away from first. There's a strike called and a punch out. Switolski It's Spiegel looking for the first out of the fourth.
92 from the left side. Power arm. Just drives this ball on the inner half. Frozen.
One out for Popa. Don Popa had a 14-game hit streak come to an end on Saturday against Bryant. His second long hitting streak of the year. Had a 19-game hitting streak earlier in the season. He's 0 for 1 tonight.
Clay, if you get a left-hander to drive fastballs away from arm side, so I'm talking about in on righties, away from lefties, like that fastball right there, that is a premium lefty at a high level, the Division I college level right there. I mean, I love that pitch. When a lefty just drives it away from arm side at 92 miles an hour, in on a righty or away from a lefty, hard to hit.
Each team has a left-hander in the game right now. Switolski for West Virginia. Matt Porter working for Pitt. That's off the plate. So now 3-1 to Popa with Bishke on deck. Panthers trying to get on the board.
Need to scratch for about 1 or 2 right here and kind of get back into this game.
No contest that time. He was kind of the only one over there. 3-2. Outside, walked him. So 2 on, 1 out. Park tonight, which opened in 2001. Sits beautifully here along the Allegheny in Pittsburgh.
Great year, 2001. That's when my son was born.
He is Bobby Miranda, husband and father of 2. Recently retired from head coaching at Western Carolina, so you can really relate to Randy Mazey and his decision to hang it up, you know, while he's still relatively young and spend time with his family.
We
really
talked about it.
that.
We talked about it a lot the last couple of weeks. I knew I was doing this game, and he's moving into a different part of his life, and he's excited about it.
Oh, it's cranked foul for Bishke.
Yeah, I did 35 years, and he's done 35 years. Very similar. And, he was in the ACC, the SEC, the Big 12. I was assistant for a long time. I did the same thing like that. So it's, 35 is a lot of years doing that job. And I'm proud of him. He's a great man, a great coach, great father, husband. Randy Mazey is going to be missed in college baseball, but he'll be around. And he's impacted so many young men in the game.
3 NCAA tournaments in the last 6 seasons. He hosted a regional in 2019. Some people forget that. I mean, and that hadn't been done in decades. To center. Stepping back is King, and now right there to make the catch. Feigning that he's going to third as Fogle. He'll hold. And so there are 2 outs. And as much animosity as there is between West Virginia and Pitt, you would never know it when you're just talking with Mike Bell and Randy Mazey. Those 2 guys have such great respect for one another.
They're dear friends.
Yep.
Dear friends. And Randy was joking around before the game. He was telling Mike, he said, hey, he goes, maybe in a couple years I'll come be your assistant at Pitt. I thought that was beautiful.
We're going to talk to Randy coming up next half inning.
There's that fastball away from arm side, just driven in there at 93 from the left side. That's a real arm.
2 strikes to Funk. Got him. Inning over. So Switolski gives up a He joins us now from the dugout. Randy, we're going to miss you when the season is over, but I know you're not going to be a stranger to college baseball.
No, I'm gonna stay and watch this guy play for the rest of my life.
That's
How about this?
Weatherholt.
A Pittsburgh guy playing at PNC Park. How cool is this?
Oh, no doubt. We've talked about these Pittsburgh natives. How much fun is it for these guys to have this big league-like experience tonight?
You know, I tell them every time we play here, we always have a new team, but I tell them how cool is it that you get to, if you're a pitcher, you get to share this rubber with guys like Mariano Rivera and the best of all time, and you're standing in the same batter's box and some Hall of Famers stood in. Yeah. That's what a cool feeling for these kids. But that's before the game. Once the game starts, you got to play baseball. You know?
Incredible experience, Mays. Hey, let me tell you something. So impressed with your hitters and their approach. 2 strikes through the middle, backside home run. I mean, home run to center field. Like, do you guys work on? Give me some tips on your hitting approach.
I mean, this is the first time you've seen the Mountaineers play. You might think we coach these guys. You know better than that. You think I'm dumb enough to coach J.J. Weatherholt? You're out of your mind.
I'll tell you what, it has been an impressive display on the mound of you guys filling the strike zone up and then hitting through the middle of the field. Just, I mean, give it to me. I want to tell me something under your system.
Yeah, this, you know, we've had so many injuries this year, and normally, because we're a northern team, it takes us 20 or 25 games to get into the flow of things. We've had so many injuries. This team that's on the field today, this is only the 5th or 6th time they've all been together. So this is still like spring training for us and trying to get the right pieces in place. And now it's starting to look like we're shelling up and settling into a comfort zone. And we're actually pretty tough to pitch throughout the entire lineup.
There's Sam White with another base hit for your bunch. Hey, tell us about your starter tonight and your thoughts on Gavin Van Kempen. I'm assuming that you took him out after the 3rd inning because you want to save him for this weekend series.
Yeah, for sure. You know, weekends mean the world to us. Not like this doesn't, but yeah, Gavin's, we talked about it. He's kind of like a utility pitcher. He's closed games for us. He's started games for us. And he's just super valuable in any role you put him in. And he pitched so well, you know. You want to get him out of there before his pitch count gets to the point where we can't use him on Friday or Saturday. So he's extremely valuable for us, leading our team in wins, actually.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, hey, Randy, we appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Thanks,
Good luck, Mays.
Appreciate it. See ya.
Randy Mazie, the reigning Big 12 Coach of the Year. As West Virginia got a piece of the Big 12 championship in the regular season last year. It was a 3-way tie. And, you know, did not play particularly well at the Big 12 tournament. Did make the national tournament, but they've been to 3 NCAA fields in the last 6 years. And that kind of stuff was not happening before Randy Mazie became the head coach at West Virginia.
He's done an outstanding job his entire career as an assistant coach and as a head coach.
Ben Koval is the new pitcher. He's a right-hander for Pittsburgh after Matt Porter put in some pretty good work in an inning and a third. There's the resume for West Virginia this year.
24th RPI now. I mean, that's creeping up.
Grant Hussey, 10th home run of the year back in the 1st inning, a 3-run shot, his 35th of his career. Now tied with Jed Jerko, a big leader. Tim McCabe was a great player at West Virginia. 3-way tie for the most in team history. So we'll see if we can get some more history here tonight in Pittsburgh. The thing that I was more impressed with than the home run almost was the fact that he came up the next time and bunted his way on for a hit.
Good point. Really good point. Team player. Saw the defense and took advantage of it.
1-2 pitch to Hussey. Hit well. Look out. Here we go. High and deep. Goodbye home run. There it is. Grant Hussey stands on top of the West Virginia mountain. all by himself.
Wow. Driven in a hurry out of here for the all-time record.
2-run shot. It's 10-0.
Ball's up in the zone. He took a short swing to it and buggy whips it to the pull side, halfway up the stands in right field. In a hurry. What a night for Hussey.
And that rides in and hits Kresser, so he's aboard for the second time. A 5-run night for Grant Hussey. Is driven in 5. 31 RBIs on the year now.
If you were calling hockey right now, he'd probably be the front runner for player of the game or star of the game. Is that what they say?
First star, yeah.
Star of
He's
the game.
First star for sure. Well, you think about some of the great players that have come through West Virginia, and now Hussey stands alone on top, and you got to believe that Jerko and McCabe are happy for him. I mean, those guys very close to the program still. Jerko is from Morgantown. McCabe from right here in Pittsburgh.
What a great night for that young man.
And to do it at this ballpark.
Yes. I mean, that makes it even more memorable.
That one is hit on the screws by Lumsden. Man, he has swung it well tonight as well.
Yeah, they are barreling baseballs all over the yard tonight. So take a look at that today. Occasional changeup.
And a pinch hitter here for West Virginia. Aaron Jamison, freshman outfielder out of Morgantown, who's played quite a bit this year, is going to tee off on the first pitch he sees. Line shot to Popa. Makes the catch. Tagging, going to third is Kresser. The throw, not in time. And Kresser showing good speed. Popa with a really nice throw from center.
That's good baseball right there. That ball's hit hard to center field. Nice job of tagging up. Good throw, good relay, good baseball.
So 1 out. Runners at the corners now. Back to the top of the order. Logan Save. Save a double, a run scored in the first, single and a run scored in the second. Struck out looking his last time up. Ryan Partridge spent 4 seasons at Penn State. Comes to Pitt as a graduate left-hander.
Pitt desperately needing to minimize this and just shut this down and score some runs.
Fly ball. CJ Funk on the warning track makes the catch. Tagging from third. Kresser will score. And it's now 11-0 West Virginia Mountaineers. Save, what a night for him. A couple of hits and now a run batted in.
West Virginia is just putting on a clinic with runners in scoring position. You talk about going to the backside with a man on third, less than 2 outs, moving a runner, hitting the ball to center field and tagging up. I mean, it's a clinic right now what West Virginia is doing tonight with their offense.
2 outs. J.J. Weatherholt. A couple of hits, including an RBI double in the second inning. It was kind of fun to see Randy Mazie put his arm around J.J. when he was doing that interview.
I would say he's very fond of that young man.
I would think. J.J.'s going to help carry Randy's legacy to the next level. That's going to be a foul ball. I think we flashed the graphic earlier how many guys he has turned out toward the professional level. A lot of his guys have been drafted over the years.
At many different programs along the way. You know, he's developed some fine players. Some quality programs.
to first base, knocked down by Cantwell. That's going to do it here in the 5th. Butterfield, after coming on as a pinch hitter last half inning for the Mountaineers, but the man of the night is the guy over at first base, Grant Hussey. 2 home runs, becoming West Virginia's all-time home run king. Hit one in the corner in left in the 1st inning, and in the top of the 5th here, hit one to right field.
It's been the Hussey show so far in this contest. Record-breaking show.
Ryan Zuckerman goes down quickly, a strikeout victim for the first time tonight, as Tyler Switolski starts his 2nd inning of work. And for Switolski, already 3 strikeouts.
He's got a really good arm and a live fastball.
Jake Kendrow now. Sophomore shortstop for Pitt. Missed some time in March with a shoulder injury, but when healthy, he has been solid. You can see his numbers, and he's hitting in the 9 spot. That's the thing, and Mike Bell talked about it. I mean, there have been a ton of injuries for Pitt this year as well, and young at big key positions.
They're finally getting closer to full strength. Both squads, right? I mean, Pitt's playing well. Tonight, not so much, but overall, they're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at those ACC box scores, they've been in every series. And swing and miss. Kendrow goes down 3 straight pay-per-view. Well, Switolski seems to have legs here. I mean, he can go a ways, you would think, in this game for West Virginia.
Well, you're talking about a guy that was in the weekend rotation.
Yep.
And then Coach Mazey moved him to the pen. So he's very capable of finishing this game.
Talked about how David Hageman is out for the year. He was an honorable mention All Big 12 last year, one of the top relievers, not just for West Virginia, but in the entire league. So they really miss him. To center. Jamison going to be tested here, and he's not going to get it. That is off the batter's eye. Did that stay in the ballpark?
It looks like it did. It must have bounced and then. It's weird
here,
looking
it looked
from
like
up here.
it went up.
Yes.
Got fooled. It's going to be a stand-up double for Luke Cantwell. Let's see it again. My eyes are playing tricks on me here.
Yeah, watch it here. Smoked. Ball's right down the middle.
Oh,
right
it
off
did
the
go off
wall.
the top of the wall. You can see the batter's eye just juts out a little bit. It looked like to me from here that it went off the corner of the batter's eye.
Same.
So Cantwell with a 2-out double. Thought for a moment Pitt was on the board with a home run of their own, but not the case. So Cantwell continues to get on base in ball games. That's the 37th straight game that he's been on base.
Legit. That is legit. What you want out of a leadoff hitter.
Man, that was hit high.
Smoke. That ball just kept carrying. Had great backspin.
Luke Cantwell continues to hit well against West Virginia. He went 3 for 5 with a run batted in against the Mountaineers in Morgantown. And here is Melendez striking out for the 2nd time. So the double for Cantwell. Spencer Barnett is going to be the pinch hitter here to lead off the inning for West Virginia. Kyle West was the designated hitter when hitless tonight. So Barnett will get a chance.
I still can't get over, because you said that was the thing you were most impressed with. Hussey, he hits 2 home runs and he drops down a bunt.
Yeah, only in college baseball.
It's awesome.
Yep.
And it wasn't like he hit 2 then dropped 1. It was in between each home run.
So Barnett, the pinch hitter. Couple of home runs on the year, 21 runs batted in. This will be his 89th trip to the plate. A Pittsburgh native. You know that coaches want especially to get those Pittsburgh kids in the game here tonight.
100%. I mean, you grew up probably a Pirates fan. You've been to this park since you were a little kid, and getting a chance to play here, what an amazing experience.
Sebastian Pisacreta, new catcher for the Panthers now. Struck him out. So good start for Shalott as he gets Barnett to go down. 1 away.
93 on that fastball. Had some good power life late on the inner half.
Randy Mazey's going to send up Ellis Garcia now. Garcia, sophomore from New Jersey. Hitting .245. A homer and 14 runs batted in. He's batting in Chumley's spot, so he's done for the night. And I think we're going to see another pinch hitter after this as well. This hasn't been much of a backyard brawl tonight. Pretty one-sided. West Virginia came out swinging in the first inning and haven't looked back.
Scored in every inning but one. 4 spot in the first. I mean, those are fun when you're on that side of it.
Swung on and missed. Shalott back-to-back strikeouts with the pinch hitters Barnett and Garcia. And now Michael Peraza is going to come up.
Good stuff right here. Excellent slider. Really explodes. This kid's got good stuff. Showed a good fastball in already for a strikeout. Now a power slider away.
Here's Peraza. Take upstairs from Shalott. Said it before, though, Pitt, kind of retooling this year. I mean, Mike Bell went out, got 25 newcomers, 14 transfers, and 11 freshmen. So he knew it was going to be a challenging year, plus an entirely new coaching staff. Brandon Romans, in his first year as assistant coach and recruiting coordinator. He's got a new first base coach, and Chris Colazzo, who came from Delaware, handles the defense. Sky Duff, who just wrapped up his playing career at Pitt, is the new graduate manager. I mean, so some new blood for Mike Bell. I mean, it hasn't been easy at times this year, but there's no doubt he's going to get it squared away.
A little bit of a transition year for sure. Still a great opportunity to get in that ACC tournament.
Yep, and that's the goal.
That's what the goal is, exactly. Huge weekend against Notre Dame upcoming.
Line drive, base hit. Hit number 14 for West Virginia's Peraza. Drives one the other way. That's what you're talking about. That they've been going to the backside so well tonight.
Just unbelievable approach right there. The ball's away. You stay through the baseball with a nice flat swing. Your chest is on the ball. Send it to left.
Now, you didn't think they were going to pinch hit for Hussey, did you? Heck no, they're going to give him a chance to do it again.
Why not?
So here's Hussey hitting for himself, already 3 for 3 with 2 homers and a record in his back pocket.
Like our producer Joe Taylor just said, in my ear. If you're into that stuff, if you like that stuff.
Maybe he can put it in the Allegheny River. That would be quite the encore.
Pretty good night if you're into that. I would say he's into that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I tell you what, you look out here from our seat, our vantage point. You got the Roberto Clemente Bridge. You got the Allegheny shimmering out there beyond the right center field wall, and beautiful skyline. I mean, it's absolutely terrific. The temperature couldn't be better either.
Yeah, no humidity. It's beautiful.
That's going to spin back for Hussey. West Virginia native. Was the state's top high school prospect a few years ago. Out of Washington, West Virginia. Think he can put it into the Allegheny, kind of like they do in San Francisco. Put it in the water.
That's a bomb getting it way out there from
It's
a
got to
college
be
kid.
another 100 feet beyond that right field wall.
Oh, no doubt.
Eleven home runs on the year. 35 and 36 here tonight for his career. And now, what happened there, Bobby? Did he crack the bat, or
I don't know.
oh, wants a little stickum on his
He's trying
batting gloves?
Trying to hit one in the river like you talked about. Now it's been done 70 times.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's up here on the wall right behind me.
Did you go to your crack research staff that I don't see behind the curtain?
Let me clarify that.
Only 4 or 5 on the fly, though.
Right.
So some have been hit. 70 have been hit in the river, but only
Where they
a handful,
roll in there.
Only a handful have gone in on the fly.
Yeah. Wow. Still, hitting it even rolling in there is crazy. Crazy power.
That's also going to get out of play.
It really blows me away that 70 have been hit out of this stadium.
Yeah,
I mean, that
is a long fly ball.
that's shocking. I was thinking more like 20. It's a long way.
Eighth pitch of the at bat for Hussey. The 1-2. It's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You got Peraza over at first. Grant Hussey looking for his 4th hit of the night. That's outside. Full count now. How about Hussey if he could work a walk on this at bat?
Yeah.
That would really be impressive at another level.
It's amazing he's worked this count to full 3-2. And these 3-ball counts at the college level, you have a 50% chance to reach base. You're hitting 500 basically.
Payoff pitch. Again fouls it off.
To the backside. That's good hitting right there. His chest is on it, fouling pitches off. That's what he did in the at bat where he hit the home run. Like we said earlier, both of us, Apo Taco, he fouled a bunch of pitches off, and then he goes backside home run into the corner.
Gavin Shalott got the first 2 outs via strikeout here in the inning. Runner goes, swung on right to first base, and Cantwell vacuums it up, steps on the bag, and Hussey is retired.
Expanded the field to 64 teams. So much better for college baseball. Super regionals are exciting. Omaha's just off the charts. If you ever get a chance to go there, anybody who's watching this tonight and you haven't been, go. It is amazing.
Justin Fogel leading it off here for Pitt. They need a bunch, as that 10-run rule would be in effect in the 7th inning. As Chase Meyer is the new pitcher, a freshman right-hander. Tall drink of water, 6'2". comebacker. Catcher's going to make a play, throws it into right field. New catcher in the ball game. And that's going to be an error on West Virginia, as Z-Pack, who just came in behind the plate for the Mountaineers, makes the first error of the ball game.
This ball kind of got into no man's land. You'll see it right here. Just a little too far out, kind of got tripped up on his feet. Didn't really have a solid base to throw from, and basically like a leadoff double right there.
They're going to go single and an error on the throw.
Right.
That allowed him to get to second base. So a man in scoring position for the Panthers. As Josh Spiegel comes up. Third pitcher for West Virginia tonight. It all started with Gavin Van Kempen. 3 shutout innings. He was excellent on the mound. And then Tyler Switalski came in and also did good work for the road team. He went 2 shutout innings, 5 strikeouts. So 9 strikeouts for West Virginia pitching so far tonight.
Big time fastball right there from Meyer. 94 up in the zone. Tough to barrel.
Ground ball. Kresser has moved to short. He'll throw to first for the out. So a 6-3 put out of Spiegel. And Don Popo will come up. A lot of changes defensively for West Virginia. Guzman now in the game at second base. Peraza, who pinch hit last inning, is in left. Barone now out in right field. And we talked about Z-Pack, the new catcher for the Mountaineers, as Randy Mazey is using many of his reserves.
And Pitt desperate to score right here. That 7-inning run rule is lurking.
Heavy.
It's lurking. And so far, Pitt in this game is 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Hasn't been a lot of traffic out there, but they haven't cashed yet.
Just 5 hits for the
now
Panthers.
0 for 6 after that last hitter.
That's right. Popa fouls it off. Don Popa, proud Pittsburgh native, just like his brother, just like his father, playing baseball for the Panthers. His brother Nico was a terrific athlete, as was his dad Alan, wearing Panthers colors back in the day.
It's super cool when that legacy continues and you have a family member playing at the same university. A lot of brothers doing that.
Yep.
A father and a son. How about a grandfather? I mean, that's amazing.
Product of Seton LaSalle High School here in town. That's outside. Talk about this Pitt team. They got out to the second best start in 22 years for this program. Won 8 of their first 9 games. As this one is going to bounce to the second baseman, Guzman. Going over to third is Fogel. So there are 2 outs. Second baseman. And Tyler Bischke will bat. The thing that changed, though, for Pitt is that pesky ACC schedule. And the ACC is, Fishke has to duck out of the way, absolutely loaded again this year. 7 teams ranked in the top 25.
Loaded.
That's going to get into center field. Base knock. Tyler Bishke with his 28th run batted in. And Pitt is on the board with a run here in the 6th inning.
We talked about it earlier in the game. Look at where the RBIs have been. Through the middle of the field. Pitt finally cashes. They were 0 for the night with runners in scoring position. Get through the middle of the field. That's where the stakes are. That's where the RBIs are. The ribeyes, we call those,
yes,
in the game.
C.J. Funk at the plate. He's 0 for 2. A strikeout looking, a strikeout swinging. Talk about the ACC, Coach Mo. Number 4 Clemson, highest ranked team from the ACC. Coming off another series win at Louisville over the weekend. Florida State, Mike Bell's former team, jumped to number 7 this week. They took 2 of 3 from Duke, and that was a big series win for the Noles.
You think about that. Link Jarrett took over last year, coming from Notre Dame,
yep,
College World Series. Great player, walk-on at Florida State, who went to the College World Series 4 straight years as a player, growing up in Tallahassee. Returns home. They don't make the ACC tournament. They don't even make the ACC tournament last year. And now they're one of the top teams that'll have a chance to host all the way through the tournament.
Funk strikes out for the 3rd time. Inning is over, but Pitt gets on the board. It's 11-1. Back in Pittsburgh, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Beautiful night for PNC Park. It hasn't been great for Pittsburgh, however, as they're down 10, 11-1 as we go to the 7th. Alongside Bobby Miranda, former coach of Western Carolina, I'm Clay Matvick. Pitcher number 7 of the night for the Panthers, Kyle Mosley, is going to work this 4th time that the backyard brawl has been played here at PNC Park. Mountaineers have won all 3 prior games, and they're on their way to doing it again. These teams first met in 1895. They're each other's oldest rivals, and since 2008 they've met at least once every year. It's kind of been a dominant affair, though, the last several games. Pitt has lost 6 in a row to West Virginia. Brody Kresser on base twice tonight. Walked in the 1st, hit by a pitch in the 5th. 14 hits for West Virginia tonight.
It's a lot of traffic.
I mean, they are coming off a big weekend against Baylor where they scored a ton of runs, including 18 in one game against the Bears. So this offense right now, you never want to peak too early. But I don't think that that's the case with West Virginia. That one's fouled off. We kind of touched on it earlier. That's going to be a strikeout, actually, as Kresser's going to go down. Randy Mazie thought that was a foul ball. It's first out of the inning. The Texas Tech series, they go to Lubbock, they get swept, and Randy thinks that dialed them back in.
Really focuses you sometimes when you get swept. I mean, you sit there and you look in the mirror and say, what can I do better? And it's how you respond to adversity. We always say adversity is preparation for greatness. And boy, they've really turned it around since that sweep at Texas Tech.
Benjamin Lumsden, right fielder, hitting for himself here in the 7th inning. 2 for 3 with a 2-run homer.
Smoked.
Chases that one out of the zone. Strike 3. So Mosley, back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th.
Featuring some really good off-speed stuff. I mean, those are 2 chases in the dirt, back-to-back. by quality West Virginia hitters.
This is the most number of hits that West Virginia's had since April the 7th, when they had 18 against Kansas, 14 so far tonight. Fly ball. It's going to stay on the infield, and the inning is over as Jamison is retired. So Pitt needs to score to keep this game for the Panthers.
Nice arm right here, 85 to 89 curveball change plus command guy. This is one of their dudes. Watch this big breaking ball that he throws on the left side.
Turner Graw is on deck. It looks like he's going to hit next. Another pinch hitter for Mike Bell's club.
It's left-handers from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Some big-time baseball players coming out of there. Ryan Zimmerman, the Upton brothers, Mark Reynolds, and go on and on. It's a mecca for baseball down there, and all sports really.
We've seen 11 total pitchers tonight. We knew we were going to see a boatload. It's just Pitt was hoping to limit that a little bit more than they were able to.
Is that the definition of Johnny Holstaff night?
Yep. You were talking about Pitt's schedule coming up at Notre Dame this weekend. That's going to be huge, as both of those programs trying to qualify for the ACC tournament with 3 weekends to go. Then Pitt will host Florida State the following weekend. And this one is swung on. Coming over, the center fielder, Jamison. Well, he moves well, makes the catch, so St. Antoine is out. That's going to have a lot of weight to it as well, because Mike Bell is going against Florida State. It's always interesting when he coaches against the Seminoles.
It's your alma mater. I mean, you want to beat your alma mater, right? You want to show the boys how you did it back in the day and how you still do it now. So, yeah, huge weekends coming up for the Pitt Panthers. And like we said, Mike Bell fighting to get in that ACC tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Turner Graw, another left-handed hitter for the Panthers. 262, 1 homer, 16 runs batted in. And West Virginia goes back into Big 12 play at Cincinnati. Cincinnati playing really well.
And that's a
First year in the Big 12.
It's a unique park. We were talking about
sure.
it before the game with Mays. I mean, it's not an easy place to win. It's kind of a funky setup there. The ball doesn't jump out of there. It's kind of a dead graveyard as far as the ball flying out of that park. So that's going to be a big challenge in Cincinnati this weekend.
The way Gavin Van Kempen started this game, you'd think that he's looking good to factor against the Bearcats this weekend. Swung on and missed. Fredericks gets the strikeout of Graw, 2 down, and now Pitt down to its last out.
Yeah, I think that was a smart move by Coach Mazey to get him out of this game. He'll be able to be fresh for probably Saturday, maybe Sunday this weekend in Cincinnati. And boy, that's a real arm. He was 93, 94, pinpoint location with his fastball, especially up in the zone, carry and ride, with a power breaking ball at 85, 86.
Well, that's the 11th time a Panther has struck out tonight. And this is LaSala now pinch hitting. Anthony LaSala, sophomore infielder, trying to keep this game going for Pittsburgh. Only his 19th at bat of the year. West Virginia right away in the top of the first made a statement. That 3-run homer by Hussey capping a 4-run inning, and it was all West Virginia after that. That's going to do it. Guzman to first. Game is over as West Virginia lays a big punch early, and